So I just had some proprietary breakthroughs of my own discovery, thank God. I've got my device plugged into the wall, into a watt meter, consuming less than 20 watts of power. My transmitter is on, being run off this little micro adjustable DC power supply at 20 volts. Probably less than 1 amp power consumption at 20 volts, consuming less than 20 watts of power. Transmitter's powered on. See little sparks coming off him. He doesn't have big sparks because he's a Tesla style magnifying transmitter. He's made to make a large magnetic field or a dielectric lines of force type of field. So he's right there. You can see him just sitting there. And here's the breakthrough. That's in the other room, and it can run a 120 volt LED light between a ground point over there and the ground of the heater. And the thing I don't understand is when I do a continuity test between the heater and earth ground for my electrical outlet, it's a short circuit. It's the same thing, but somehow when my device is on, it can run loads between two separate ground points. And it's literally the wall, the outlet ground, and the heater ground going to the AC side of a bridge rectifier, and the DC side runs this 120 volt light bulb. And I made the effect even stronger by connecting, like, see how it goes out? All I did was connect my desk to it to act as an elevated antenna. And this light will light just from my hand being near it. See that? And there's some kind of high frequency field going over my body. I can feel it making me tingle a little bit. That's weird. So I'll connect the antenna back up, which is literally my desk, and it lights. Literally that wire goes to my desk. Unplugged it, light goes out. So, and if I connect it to a piece of copper, hold it, it'll also light. See? Last time I put the meter on it, it was putting out 100 milliamps at like 60 volts, that circuit. So I connect it back up to the desk, and we'll put the meter on it. So, doing everything one-handed, you gotta bear with me. Here's the meter. We'll do current first. We'll check raw short circuit current. So first I'm gonna connect the desk as the antenna to, okay, so we're gonna, still working, we're gonna check short circuit current is 102 milliamps short circuit current DC, and this is pure DC going through a rectifier. Do voltage now. 96 volts, 95 volts at 95 volts at 102 milliamps. And the power calculation for DC is voltage times current, and you don't have to do, this is an AC, so you don't do voltage times current times time factor or power factor, because this isn't AC, this is DC. So I have to do the calculation on that to see what the output is. But it's interesting to know, I can have this dead short-circuited, right? This circuit is now dead short-circuited. So it's dead short-circuited. I still have these lights lit between the ground of my electrical ground and this metal table. And if I touch it, the table, the lights get brighter. And I got like 3 lights running. This light is also dimly lit. For my receiver with the utmost sensitivity. Lit just connecting to the ground screw. My electrical outlet. And just a little loop antenna. I also have a receiving light out in the living room. We'll see if that's lit. I think my roommates always unplug it because they said it was too bright. So I'll hook it back up to earth ground of the outlet. And the other end goes to the heater. And it just connects to a little LED light, jumbo. We'll see if that lights. I can make the connection. Okay, and it does light. Look at that. And the transmitter's at the opposite end of my house. Like, what other device do you know of can do that? It's a Tesla coil that produces very little sparks and can do such insane things. It's a magnifying transmitter. A mini one that auto-tunes to the earth with my auto-tuning circuit. It's a modified Slayer exciter circuit. So that guy's lit, and we'll see if there's any degradation whatsoever. No, there's actually a slight increase in current draw on this circuit. The better each additional circuit you add to the system and ground it increases the overall current in the entire system. It's very interesting and very odd. So it should, in theory, get the light bulb even brighter when I connect it. Yeah, it's a little bit brighter. Interesting. And what Tesla coil that you know of can do that? Can run a light bulb between your heater, a separate earth ground, and an antenna, which is the desk. Now I'll shut my device off. Well, I'll also show that I can walk around with these wireless energy detectors and things will light at extreme range. Like, look at that. All from my device. Look how insane that is. I'm in the opposite freaking room. I'm in the opposite room of my device, and look how tiny it is. Look at this. This is a breakthrough, guys. I don't know if you don't understand what's going on here, but this is a breakthrough. We have a device that's no taller than 6 inches tall. It can broadcast power up to 500 feet away, and you can literally ground each receiving circuit and potentially have an unlimited amount of power. This is a breakthrough. This device could literally solve the world's energy problems if you make the correct ground and receiving circuitry. Again, I did all these tests with battery power. It actually works better. You have to ground the negative of the battery for it to work. Look at that. I shut off all main power to my house at my main breaker, and these effects still occur. I showed that too in my older videos. So, there's no mains effect going on here. There's an effect similar to the Moray valve and similar to Tesla's magnifying transmitter occurring here. Look at that. Explain that to me. The only theory of how it works is there's standing waves being pumped into the ground somehow, and they're being magnified as they travel. And I can light an unlimited amount of receiver circuitry with no drain on my transmitter. Oops, I almost dropped my phone. But it works good down here. This was always a hot spot. Look at that. There's like certain hot spots of the energy where it will just go crazy. Here's a hot spot. Look at that. Breakthrough science, guys. But if I just touch it to this, it'll light, because this coil is cut to the same dimensions as the other coil, and it lights. There's just no friggin' limit. I don't know if you guys know what's going on here, but this is like literally a remarkable breakthrough. Look at that range from this little guy. Now I will shut the device off and show to you. All these effects will cease now. Device is off. Consuming 0 watts of power. These effects have now ceased. And I will say, sometimes these little receivers do light up randomly just because they're built so sensitive. Actually, I think you can see it lighting up right there. Just from me touching the ball of the Tesla coil. It's very dimly lighting. But nowhere near what it was before. Again, this very dimly lights up when I touch just an isolated metal pipe. Nowhere near what it was before. That's only because the receiver is built so sensitive. So, light bulb is out. All these lights are out. The effects have ceased. This won't light when I touch it to you. Oh no, it does dimly light. Very dimly, can you see that? So you can't say this is occurring from mains, because there's no mains even on this side of my house, on my wall. There's no wiring here at all. And look at this. This can very dimly light. Do you see that? It's very dimly lighting. Because my detector is of the utmost sensitivity. And if I hold it by the center and do it, it might get... Oh, you can see it now get brighter. It's all about tuning. I have to add a variable capacitor to this device. That's literally all it is. RF antenna diodes. Dimly lights. Really likes that bolt for some reason. Look at that. Detectors of the utmost sensitivity that I developed. I'll turn my device back on now. I'll run at about 18 volts. 18 volts, consuming 16.3 watts on the input. Transmitter's powered on. Receiver's lit. We'll see if the magic occurs again, and there's no reason why it shouldn't. Oh yeah, we got the magic back. So, figure that out. Bulb is lit. We'll do short circuit current. So short circuit current, 96 milliamps. With DC voltage of 88. Again, I'll leave this short circuited to show you that there's no draw on the system. And again, the amazing effects still occur. No mains on this side of my house at all. You can't claim that. No mains over there. So we have one circuit, a separate circuit that's grounded and short-circuited, not degrading the system in any way of the other circuits. So, look at that. Like I said, guys, breakthrough. Raw breakthrough. The transmitter actually works the best in an opposite end of your house, I discovered. Seems any metal body will light.